Hey guys, this is part 8 of the remix series. What do you know? I'm not taking a break from it anymore. Um, although I kind of forgot everything we were doing, so kind of have to get back into this. Let me just move that up so you guys can see it. I did take a closer look at this off camera. Um, I didn't do very much. I just kind of like changed the this lead here. I had a little bit of filter stuff and made that one saw, just a little less square, a little more saw. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I did. And I kind of came up with ideas of what we could do for this one. I think we could just do like adjusting, because I think I said this in the last tutorial. We want to make the first half really good, or as best as we can. And then once we're done the first half, we can pretty much just like copy paste, and then there you go, second half. That's not necessarily true, but it's basically true. So let's just try to tweak a few things, make things a little more badass, and then we'll basically just copy paste, because it's just that kind of structure. So here we go. I don't even know what we're gonna do. All right. Well, I wouldn't mind adding more percussion, but I think I might just do that later. Or maybe I will do it today. Maybe we'll just adjust it. I wouldn't mind side chaining this vocal stuff, because it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like it's good, but it could be better. So I think we should just side chain it. So it's that one. Please stop. Okay, so we're gonna like link that to the kick, because the kick will always be hitting there. So you guys see me do this before. And if you haven't, you should really watch more of my videos, because I do it in like every one. So yeah, sidechain 1. How are we gonna do this? There. And we don't want that to always be sidechaining, obviously. Just like around the end here. So we'll keep it muted, but then when it comes in, we'll create an automation clip, and it'll unmute. Because if it's always sidechained, then that's just bad news. So I don't know. Let's just try to sidechain it like right there and see how it sounds. A lot of the times it takes a bit of tweaking. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna mute everything else so that I can kind of like hear the vocals a bit better. So there we go. Don't know why it decided to lag all of a sudden, but I think we got the general sound that we're looking for. Alright, now I was hoping this wouldn't happen. It gets a little too soft once it starts sidechaining, so we'll just have to adjust the threshold. Really don't know why my computer's lagging, but anyway. Also, now, I want to do a little bit more of the basses. That's all we really have, right? I don't know if you noticed, I made this an octave lower. Or did I? This should be an octave lower. Ooh. See, if you have headphones or good speakers, you should be able to hear how low that is. I guess that's kind of like the point of the sub of the bass. Now, if you're using like default like Dell speakers, or just ones that aren't extremely expensive slash doesn't have subwoofer, it's just gonna basically be muted to you. Like, you're not gonna hear anything. But you can tell if you look up here, you can see how like low that is. It's like all the way to the left. So it's like below 50 hertz, and you know, don't even be disappointed if you can't hear it. It's kind of to be expected for a lot of you. But anyway, I should stop mumbling about that. I want to do a little bit more of this. It might not even be heard, but I want to see if we can try to add that, because that's all we really have right now, and I don't think that's satisfactory. I'm thinking I want to make it a little bit more like clubby, and I don't really know how to explain it, but I want this to kind of like go up. I'm thinking like something like that. Does that make sense? So it's all octave when you're doing stuff like this. A lot of the time it's either octave or perfect fifth. So if it's F, then it's just F up here. Right, so we're just going to basically do that for every one. I don't know if I should really be putting that there, because the kick will be hitting there, so maybe I should move it back. But we're going to keep this pattern for pretty much the rest of this. Oops. And I really hope we're going to be able to actually hear that. If not, I'll be disappointed. How loud is that? Even though I don't usually encourage people to EQ this way, I really want an accent on that high note. That's why I got this here like boosted in the midsection. I really want that to be heard when everything else is playing, and I really don't know if it will be. I really don't know if that did anything. I suppose I should probably fix this here so it matches. Our new pattern. We'll make more of a diverse overall, like 4-bar, 8-bar pattern later. I just kind of want to get through this because I actually just restarted my computer because the lag was so bad. So here I am. All right, what were we doing? I'm thinking we should do more with the climax here because there's enough. There isn't enough Bad-Assery. So let's get to fixing that. Now, I'm thinking, I mean, I don't know how this is actually going to sound with this. I'm thinking we could make it so that the leads, right, and other stuff start like muting around the end of certain measures, and then we have like this like large like clap or effect or something, or toms or something like that to kind of take over, and then it would kind of act as, I don't know, just kind of keep things more interesting and more quick. See, this is kind of like the part of the whole producing thing where you're just kind of like not sure what you want to do, and you just kind of have to like experiment with ideas, because I'm just coming up with ideas in my head as we're going. So I'm thinking, yeah, we'll try to see if we can like cut it. Let me think. We could either do this just by like removing it like this, but I'm scared that like there'll be echo and stuff like that, and I mean, I'm not sure if I want that. Do I want that? And I'm not sure if it should be the second measure or the first, but let's make it the first. Remove a quarter measure, see how that sounds. Or we could remove a quarter measure from every bar here, but then we'll have to have more to kind of like fill in the blanks, and that might take a little too much time. Yeah, because I mean, I don't really want it to be too much different than how it sounded like in the build. Or we could make it so that actually it's 2 and 4 instead of 1 and 3. So it's these two that are now the ones that are a bit shorter. Yeah, you know what? I think I like that one better. And I think it'll make it a lot more fluent, and it won't like throw anybody off. Because that's not really what we want. we don't want to be throwing people off. Although we kind of want to be throwing them off in the sense that we want to be like knocking their socks off, that kind of throwing off, but not in the sense that like making them feel slightly uncomfortable because the song just changed dramatically. You know, that's not what we want. Now, wow, I just realized that it's gonna do that in the build. Let me clone that channel and use lead number 2. I just clone that, and then let me just fix that right here. I might even just cut this out just because it's just so ridiculous that I even done that. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the pads, but because the pads, even though if like just because there's just so much reverb and echo on pads a lot of the times, I think I'm just gonna cut it out, and because it's in the background, it won't really sound like I'm actually like cutting it out or anything. I'm gonna use the master volume on the EQ just in case I use this for something else. I don't want to be screwing with it. So I don't know, I just do this sometimes. So because I don't remember if I guess I didn't if I don't see anything here, but this will be like the automation clip for the volume for the pads, and it's easy because it's at 50. So this is the beginning of the climax, and we want this to just do this. We want it to cut out, and I mean we don't have to make it go to 0. We can make it like 5%, but I'm gonna make it go 0 first. And I think because I don't feel like doing this over and over, I'm just gonna use the knife thingy slicer, and I'm just gonna cut that so it looks like this, and I can just kind of keep on looping that over, and it'll cut out on time just like it should. Actually, for the next, like for this part right here, like the second 8 bars, we could actually make it so that it doesn't cut out at all. Because cutting it out too much might kind of just be annoying. So it's all these kinds of adjusting that you kind of have to adjust to. So I know I'm not making. It's like as we go through this tutorial, I make less and less more sense, and that's because I'm too busy like thinking what the hell should I be doing right now. I don't know what to do. Is this gonna take too much time? But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go along, right? 70. So we're gonna have to cut out the basses because those kind of get in the way too. I think I'm just gonna cut all this out because you know what I'm gonna do. Very, very simple, just automating the volumes, and I like doing it this way because it's just so much more like concrete, and I know I can just adjust it or change it in any way I want later if I need to. And it's just kind of like, it's just my way of doing things, and we all have our own way of doing things, and I know I'm gonna get comments telling me how to do this faster, but or a more efficient way of doing exactly what I'm doing right now. But I mean, I'll probably listen to those comments. So if you want to comment that, you feel free to. But like I said, this is just my way of doing this. So I'm going to do it my way. Alright, so now with all of these, so the basses, all the basses, the pads, and the leads, cutting out on that quarter of measure, it should sound like this. And you can notice, you probably noticed that you can actually add things in that little space. And I'm thinking, well, actually, I have no idea what I'm going to add. I'm thinking percussion, though, but I don't know exactly what. Now, in my head, I was thinking maybe I could do something where I could show you a little bit more about pitching samples, kind of in a practical way. So I'm going to do that toms. So we got these two very like classic toms. We just pick one of the two because we're gonna use the same one. At a drum kit 1 out of the pack, so you guys all have this, which is gonna be great for some of you. Now, yeah, I just got this tom sample, and I want to just go like dun dun, right? So that's 1, 2, 3. In other words, we need 3 samples. So we're gonna need 3 of those toms. So I'm just cloning it. Can you guys see that? I don't think you can. I'm right clicking and I'm just hitting clone. It's right above delete. And if you don't have the demo and the full version, you should be able to do this. Okay. So there's that. Now the first thing you want to do is kind of figure out like what's the original pitch of that, and I do kind of forget. So that's about the same octave as the tom. I'm just gonna kind of make that go. I'll turn it down a bit, and then I'm gonna start hitting the tom and see if it's about the same. So you can see it's kind of unresolved, and you can kind of mess around with every note, but usually it's like A or C or something like that. See how it's kind of resonating? That's how you know for sure that it's that note. So it's A. So yeah, like I said, it's usually A or C. Like, you know, typically it's, you know, you wouldn't really see a sample like being pitched to like, I don't know, like D sharp or something. I don't know. I guess you could, but a lot of the times it's one of the more classic notes like A or C. So there you go. G sometimes. So you got this one. Now you got this one that's on A as well, and this one obviously A. So we want this, since a key is like F sharp something. I don't even remember what our key is. We want it to be pitched to that. So let me look at my lead. See what notes that my leads are hitting. So G, F, B flat, A flat. So we know that A isn't really going to be used, since like there's a B flat and an A flat. You know, you don't usually use the three half steps. You do sometimes, but you know, that's more for like other scales. So we don't really want to be worrying too much about that. My God. So we could do like a B flat, A flat, G or something like that, and see how that sounds. So B flat, this will be our B flat. So we'll move that up a semitone, which is 100 cents, and then we'll just see which one sounds best. Alright, so that one sounded pretty good, and it looks very similar to the original sample waveform. So that is now going to be BB, or B flat. So now this is A, we want that to be A flat. So we're moving it down 100 cents, which is a semitone. Same monophonic. Once you choose your resampling formula, kind of keep that same one. And I just like to rename these just so I know what is what. And then we'll just do an F. So A, then 100 cents down is A flat, 100 cents down is G, and then G flat. Well, I never use that, G flat. I always say F sharp. And then 400 cents down is F. So there you go. So it's getting pretty deep. Now obviously when you do like these huge jumps, it starts to sound a little bit less and less like the original tom, but you know, there should be no problem. Right, so there you go. So if I put that, like, for instance, if I put that right here, I don't know how it's gonna sound. Well, first of all, it has to be louder, and I might have to EQ it later too. So that's kind of badly mixed, but you kind of get the idea of what we can do with these kind of empty spots. And I think we might have to do this in the next tutorial because holy crap, we've ran on a lot of time. Actually, gonna move that back down where it was. It's too loud, isn't it? So yeah, I think I'm gonna get some more percussion next tutorial, and then we'll add more stuff. But you guys kind of get the idea. So if you guys are doing something similar to this, you know, you guys can understand what you can do with it. So it's like it's not too much. You're not losing too much from this. Wow, we did not do very much. Really sorry about that, guys. But you know, it's like the little things that really count and take a lot of time, I find. I think I might do a little bit more off screen, but for the most part, I'll probably just finish this half, and then, you know, once we're done this half, like I always say, once we're done this half, it's copy paste, and then it'll literally take like one tutorial to finish like the next half. Not even joking. So don't think that we're like not even close to being done, which, I mean, if I was trying to make this to my like 100% highest standards, we wouldn't be close of being done. But you know, I don't want this to be too complex, because if it is, then well, for one, my computer won't be able to handle it while recording, and two, a lot of you might not be able to follow, because I know a lot of my viewers are beginners or like novice. So I don't want to get too complicated with this stuff. Just simple remix, but I do want to be able to show you guys as much techniques as I can that will be helpful in the future, and for everybody, really. So anyway, I'm done.